The enormity of the housing challenges felt by every one of us in this room, no matter where you're from. Housing affordability is no longer a Vancouver or Toronto problem. It's no longer just even an urban problem. It's a problem in all of our communities. Young people and families are being pushed to leave their cities. This is putting new pressure on smaller and smaller communities, driving up their housing costs. And seniors on fixed incomes everywhere are struggling. We need to be thinking about the kinds of towns and cities we want, the kind of country we want. Because without sufficient housing in our communities, our economies are held back. Since 2015, we've helped nearly 2 million families and individuals get the housing they need. And Canada has increased our social housing stock after decades of no growth and even declines. We're doing this through programs that create housing for vulnerable people, including those experiencing homelessness, like the Rapid Housing Initiative. The first 2 rounds of the RHI exceeded expectations and are on track to create more than 10,000 units instead of the 7,500 initially expected. That includes more than 3,300 units to support women and more than 4,200 units to support Indigenous peoples. With round 3, this program will continue to deliver because we're working directly with you, directly with municipalities. Just this Tuesday, Minister Justin announced funding for affordable housing in the Cape Breton Regional Municipality. And then on Wednesday, funding was announced for hundreds more units in Hamilton. But even more housing is needed everywhere, a lot more. We need to increase the supply of housing. It's that simple. Our government wants to see housing construction double over the coming years. Now, no single order of government can solve this alone, but we're putting real dollars behind this target. In March, to eliminate barriers to new housing supply, we launched the Housing Accelerator Fund. Through the program, we will directly fund municipalities' action plans, with the boldest plans resulting in the most housing units, especially affordable units, being rewarded. And we know that accelerating the housing pipeline comes with costs to you. That's why we're stepping up with $4 billion to be your partners in this work. Where you build houses matters a lot. As you know, 2 years ago, our government made a historic investment in public transit. We're moving forward with permanent public transit funding. And we're now looking at how best this funding can be used to build more transit for Canadians, especially where it's needed most. And I want to emphasize 2 things on transit. 1, you can count on us for long-term, predictable funding to support your growing transit systems. And 2, access to full funding will rely on you coming to the table with concrete and ambitious commitments on how you're going to build more housing to go with more transit. That means that just like the Housing Accelerator Fund, the more ambitious your housing targets, the more generous we'll be able to be in partnering with you. And we know you can do it. We've seen some fantastic examples of innovation and ambition over the past few years. Since 2021, Calgary has converted 10 underused office buildings into residences, with the city working with developers to reduce red tape. Guelph just approved a new housing pledge to facilitate the construction of 18,000 new homes by 2031.